For the Kassing family, the cattle business is truly a way of life. And when Bob Kassing's parents cleared the ground on their farm near Mount Sterling, they also cleared a path for their family to build generations of agricultural heritage.
We've been in the cattle business. I will be the fifth generation. I'm not sure my great-great-grandfather had cattle, but I know my great-grandfather did, and we've had them down through the rest of the generations. And we farm about 1,200 acres, row crops. We have about 600 acres of open and wooded pasture.
We are a cow-calf operation for the most part. We run about 175 cows generally, typically spring calving. Very rarely do we have any fall calvers. Try to stick to spring calving. Wean in the fall. Throughout the years, Dad has introduced mainly two breeds to our program, Slayer breed and the Angus breed. That's mainly what we use in our genetics, with a little bit of Simmental thrown in there here recently. But between those two breeds, we really like the cross of the two. That's what a majority of our cows are.
As the operation grew quickly in the 1980s, the herd suffered from some performance issues such as calving difficulty and decreased calf vigor. That's when Bob Kassing found Slayer cattle and embraced the benefits they could bring to his herd.
That was the beauty of the breed, you know. They call it the balanced breed, you know. It's not tops and everything, but calving ease, maternal, and vigor at birth were the two or three things that they really excelled at, and those were the things that we were having some really serious problems with.
As those issues improved, improving the consistency of the calf crop became important, and Angus cattle were introduced to the program.
We wanted to get our color uniform. We wanted to get our body size more uniform, so we crossbred with the Angus and the Slayer, and it just made a wonderful cross. You know, we just try to raise a cow that is very functional, that is very easy doing, easy fleshing, has to have a great disposition.
As the Kassings look to improve their cow herd for the future, a balanced approach to breeding is required to continually create cattle that will be in demand at the sale barn.
We don't use terminal sires. We don't use only easy calving sires. We just try to find that happy medium there where it can be to our advantage, and then the next guy who might purchase our calves. We just try to hit the middle of the road overall with our animals, and just know that those cattle are going to perform well once they leave this farm.
We're not set up to feed cattle out on our farms. We don't have the facilities to do that. So we pretty much market our cattle through the sale barns now. We pretty much use the Carthage sale barn. We've built up a rapport with them, and we have people that like our cattle and want our cattle, and we hope that we're breeding the kind of cattle that will do good for us, but they will do extra good for the people that buy them after us, because that's where our market is. We want them to make money so we can continue to make money ourselves.
Uniformity is when you're taking them to the sale barn. If it's not a uniform group, then you better plan on being discounted. So we try to make a uniform product, take as many calves that look exactly alike as we possibly can, and we've had good results selling it at the Carthage sale barn.
Around the farm, the Kassings look to maximize production from the resources available to them.
Sure, our cattle, we pretty much strictly raise our cattle with what we grow on the farm, you know, and we used to just strictly be hay, and we had a lot of acres of hay, and we put up hay all summer. As we've evolved, we've went to a silage. We started using silage, and we found that it was a great feed, you know, and you could make a lot of feed in a short period of time. And through the years now with cover crops, we have gotten into to turnips and rye in the fall after we take silage off. Makes a wonderful feed, you know. It's saved us a lot of dollars on feed. We don't have near the acres put into hay that we used to because of taking advantage of double cropping and cover crops to utilize to feed our cows, where we used to use strictly hay and had to have a lot of acres to get enough hay.
And while commercial producers must always focus on maximizing production from their land, caring for that land is incredibly important as well.
You need to leave it just as good, if not better, than the way you found it. It was a gift from God. He's given us this lifestyle that we're able to live, and we need to leave it in a better way than we found it, for Him, for our children, our children's children.
When I leave this earth, I think God give us what we have, everything we have. When I get to see Him someday and He says, "Hey Bob, what did you do with that land that I give you to take care of? How did you take care of those animals that I give you to take care of? How did you use your talents to make them better?" I hope I can say, "Lord, I did the best I could to improve. I did the best I could to treat my animals in an ethical, humane way. I think I've made it a better place for my kids, for their kids, and for the generations that follow them."
From a rich family heritage in agriculture, to his father who helped him join the farm in 1967, to his mother who's still an integral part of the operation today, Bob Kassing, his wife Carolyn, their children, and 12 grandchildren have built a legacy on family.
Having my family involved in this operation means everything to me. This wouldn't be near the enjoyment that it is if I couldn't get my family involved, if I couldn't work them into my system, our system, to where the future is resting in their hands, and I know that it's going to be in good hands and they're going to take over after I'm gone.
And the family operation most certainly is in good hands. But there's one more important family member that must be mentioned.
I also have to give credit to a gentleman that's worked for me for almost 35 years now. His rightful name is Stephen Gallagher, but he won't answer to that. We just call him Golly. I just want to thank him for his years of service.
Congratulations to Kassing Farms, the 2017 Illinois Beef Association Commercial Producer of the Year.